Without objection, we will pass over sub for Senate Bill 8, House Bill 2054, and turn our attention to Senate Bill 1. For the purposes of adopting the committee report and explaining the bill, the chair recognizes the senator from Potawatomi, Senator Titus.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move adoption of the committee report.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. You may continue.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, since we are here on borrowed time, I'll try to be short. Senate Bill 1 would require that Kansas end the observation of daylight savings time if Missouri also adopts the same requirement. Should the federal government ever adopt permanent daylight savings time for the entire country, then Kansas would move along with the other states into that system. Now, the goal of this bill is to stop the annual clock switching, but current federal law only allows states to opt out of daylight saving time rather than adopt into it. So we're stuck with the only option to get rid of the clock switching is permanent standard time. So upon further review of that option, it's very clear, and all of the resources are out there, that the health benefits of standard time are indisputably better based on every clinical and professional study. It's also important to remember the United States attempted to observe permanent daylight saving time in the early 1970s, and it was so unpopular after just 2 winters that Congress undid that action. Further, every country that has tried to observe permanent daylight savings time has given up on that project because it's just so unworkable for their folks. It's popular in idea, but once put into practice, it's been unsuccessful. A few notes just on the topic of time switches as they've come up with the new president and the administration. In the last month, President Donald Trump has said he would not endorse permanent daylight savings time, and our neighboring states of Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Missouri all have active bills in their legislatures that would abolish daylight saving time. With that, I would stand for questions.
Are there questions for the senator from Potawatomi? Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Blasi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank the senator from Potawatomi for bringing this bill, making it Senate Bill 1. I think it's a great piece of legislation because anybody who's had little children know time change is such a pain. My son normally wakes up around 6 a.m., but by goodness, when that clock goes back an hour, he's up at 5 and does not go back to sleep. Let's stop the nonsense. Let's move on. Let's get rid of the time change. You know, Congress, the House, I believe, the U.S. Senate, I believe, voted unanimously to stop this nonsense, and the House did not act on it. Will this legislation make its way all the way through the process? I don't know, maybe. But if anything, it'll spark a conversation, both in this state and maybe across the nation, that we're serious about ending this practice of time change. So I ask the body to support this motion. Thank you.
Other questions, Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Claeys.
It's not just children, it's also pets. You will have situation with a wet nose poke an hour before you want to wake up in the morning. It's not very pleasant. I'm tired of it. And yes, we need to move to something like this. Thank you, Senator.
Senator from Wyandotte, Senator Pettey.
Well, I'm just not going to join on with this band of choirs singing for doing away with daylight savings time. I like daylight savings time. I love to see us having light hours later that we do now. So I'm a supporter of daylight savings time.
Other questions? Seeing none, Senator, you may close.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Only time will tell if this bill will pass, but let's remember there's no time like the present to make an important change. With that, I move when the committee rises and reports, it report Senate Bill 1 favorably for passage.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Fifth roll call would take the following. Sub for Senate Bill 281, Senate Bill 39, 181, 229, 211, 1, and sub for Senate sub for House Bill 2060. Clerk will read the titles.
Substitute for Senate Bill 281, an act concerning the state treasurer. Senate Bill 39, an act concerning legal tender. Senate Bill 181, an act concerning state finances. Senate Bill 229, an act concerning labor and employment. Senate Bill 211, an act concerning wildlife and parks. Senate Bill 1, an act exempting the state of Kansas from daylight savings time. And Senate substitute for substitute House Bill 2060, an act concerning the state governmental ethics law.
Clerk will call the roll. Has every senator had an opportunity to vote? Does any senator wish to explain their vote? Senator from Montgomery, Senator Peck.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm not going to explain it this time. Could I get a preliminary count, please, on Senate Bill 211?
At this point, it is 16 in favor, 23 opposed.
I'll wait just a moment.
Senator from Douglas, Senator Francisco.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to explain my vote on Senate Bill 211.
Proceed.
I vote no on Senate Bill 211. The Kansas Wildlife and Parks Commission has been operating effectively. Members of the commission have been able to bring up concerns, and a majority propose rules and regulations. The change regarding the appointments makes sense, eliminating the prohibition of appointing a controlled shooting area licensee, an employee of such licensee, or any person who provides hunting outfitting services or hunting guide services does not. Allowing a single member of the commission to promulgate rules and regulations creates expense and unnecessary work for a lawyer, the Attorney General, the Department of Administration, and the Secretary of State. I'd like to have my remarks spread on the journal.
So ordered. Senator from Pottawatomie.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to explain my vote on 229.
Proceed.
I vote no on 229 because this legislative body already creates the parameters for licensure in Kansas, and while I believe this bill is well intended, I don't believe it will actually reduce overregulation. This bill will just insert another layer of bureaucracy that will make it more difficult to make future changes to licensure.
Further explanations or changes? Senator from Cherokee, Senator Schallenberger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to explain my vote on Senate Bill 39.
Proceed.
In the Kansas Senate today, we didn't remove the tax on fuel or the tax on wages or the tax on homes or the tax on land, but we did decide to remove the tax on gold. The gold changers won today. I vote no.
Further explanations or changes? Seeing none, clerk will close the room. Senator Johnson, Senator Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to explain my vote on Senate Bill 1.
Proceed.
If adopted, which it appears it will, it would actually be 6:54, and we'd get a better night's sleep. Thank you, Mr. President.
Anyone wish to change their vote? No. Senator from Montgomery.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee invested a lot of time on Senate Bill 211. Don't really like the bill in its current form, but also hate to see the bill totally go down personally. So I'm going to not make any difference, but go from a pass to a yes. Thank you, Mr. President.
So ordered. Further explanations. Senator Johnson, Senator Sykes.
With his permission, I would like to join the comments from the Senator from Cherokee.
So ordered. Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Ware.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. With his permission, I would also like to join the remarks of the Senator from Cherokee.
So ordered. Any further changes? Senator from Wyandotte, Senator Pettey.
With his permission, I would also like to join the comments of the Senator from Cherokee on gold.
Anyone else? Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Erickson.
Oh, in the spirit of fun, with his permission, I'd like to join the remarks from Senator from Johnson, Senator Thompson.
Seeing no further explanation or changes, clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. With 33 having voted in favor and 7 opposed to the passage of Senate Bill 1, 28 in favor, 12 opposed to Senate Bill 39, 32 in favor and 8 opposed to Senate Bill 181, 31 in favor, 9 opposed to 229, 40 in favor, none opposed to 281, and 36 in favor and 4 opposed to the passage of House Bill 2060. These measures having received the required constitutional majority are declared passed. With 17 voting in favor and 23 opposed to the passage of Senate Bill 211, this measure is hereby declared lost.